Welcome. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to designate or talk about very specific angles in a figure that has multiple lines crossing. The first thing I want to emphasize is we always have two lines that happen to be parallel. I like to think of them as railroad tracks. Railroad tracks must be parallel. It'd be really weird if the railroad tracks weren't, the train would wreck, right? So there's always two that are parallel. Now, the parallel ones don't necessarily have to be horizontal. They could be vertical or slanted, but we always have a third line that crosses the two lines that are parallel. It's called a transversal. So the one that cuts across it is called a transversal. Now, if you'll notice, we have 8 angles that are created. We have the 4 angles around the one railroad track that the transversal intersects, and the 4 angles around the other railroad track. The next thing I want to emphasize is we want to talk about what means to be interior to the railroad tracks, or exterior to the railroad tracks, or interior to the parallel lines, or exterior. So in other words, if you were walking down the railroad tracks and you were in between the two railroad tracks and a train was coming, you'd want to get off very quickly. But if you were on the exterior or on the outside, and far enough away, obviously, but not in between the parallel tracks, you'd be fine. That's exterior to the railroad track. So what it's going to have us do is we're going to talk about two types of angles specifically, ones that are called alternate interior and ones that are called alternate exterior. Alternate interior and alternate exterior. Now, alternate or alternating means that we're going to be on opposite sides of not only the line that transverses or cuts across the railroad track, but on the opposite or alternate railroad track. So for instance, this one's asking for alternate interior angles, okay? Alternate interior angles. Now, to make this go faster, notice that we are going to talk about specific angles, so they have to reference the angles using the letters. They use, again, that reference angle. That's just an angle measure. It's not a less than symbol. And then it has an X and a W and a T, okay? And that's the first on all 4 choices. So what I do is I go up here and I find those 3 letters. The X, here's the X, here's the W, and here's the T, which refers to those 3 points, which means I'm referring to this angle right here that goes through those 3 points, this angle right here. Now, I want to find the alternate interior angle to that, alternate interior. Well, that means it's going to be one of these 3 angles on the inside, but I need to be on the opposite side or the alternate side of the transversal and on the alternate railroad track. That's this one. This angle here is going to be the alternate interior angle. Now we got to say, okay, what are the letters that represent that? Well, it's going to be letter S, T, and either W or Y, because that's along this line that comes this way. Most likely they're going to use W. So we're going to use angle STW. Now, the next thing I need to emphasize is that the T must be in the middle, but the W and the S do not. They can be swapped. I mean, in other words, I could represent it as WTS or STW. So I'm going to come and look down here for one that has a T in the middle, right, which is these bottom 3. So this one's already negated. That's not the right answer. And then I need a W and an S. Well, this doesn't have the W. That R's wrong. U's wrong. Here's my W and my S. It doesn't matter that it's STW, but this XWT is an alternate interior angle to STW. Okay, so let's look at another one. And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit because you're going to ask for, again, alternate. They're going to keep doing alternate interior for a while, but let's do that. First thing I'm going to notice, is that they have multiple on both, but that's all right. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to just find LMP. So I'm going to come up here and go LMP. This is an interior angle. If it wants alternate interior, it's going to have to be this angle. because it's inside or in between the parallel. It's on opposite sides of the transversal and on opposite tracks. So is this right here Q, P, M? It is. Actually, this one is the right one. Right off the bat, we caught the right one. So it's going to be this one because that's the two that I marked. If it wasn't, then I would try the next one. If that didn't work, I'd try the next one. All right, here's alternate exterior. So now alternate exterior, remember, needs to be on the outside. So again, I just start with the first one, OPR. I look up here and find O, there's O, here's P, and here's R. So it's actually this out here, which makes sense because that's on the outside of the railroad track. So I want to say, well, what's the alternate exterior angle to that? Well, I need to be on the exterior of the other track and on the alternate side of the transversal, the line that crosses across the tracks. So I'd have to be this one, which is a KMN. So I come down here to look to see if this is a KMN, and it's not. So that's not the right one. So now I'm going to look at LMP. LMP. Well, right off the bat, that's an interior angle. That's in between the two parallel lines. That's not the right answer. So I know those ones aren't it. So I'm going to move to the next one. I'm going to look at QPM. QPM. Well, that's inside. QPM is another interior angle. That can't be it. Well, by elimination, if I eliminated the first three, it has to be the bottom one. But I'm going to verify that it is. QPR. Where is Q? QPR. So I'm coming from here up to P and out to R. So that's this exterior angle. The other angle better be this one here because it's on alternate sides of the two parallel lines and on alternate of the transversal. So it better be LMK or KML. LMK, and lo and behold, it is. That's my alternate exterior angles. Again, rewatch this if you need to. Just remember that if it's talking interior, you're in between the two railroad tracks. If you're talking exterior, you'll be on the outside of the railroad tracks. And then your alternate sides of the transversal, so you always jump across the transversal and you jump across to the alternate track. So since these are alternate interior, it's either going to be this one here and this one. Let me clear this off so it's a little easier to see. Since alternate interior, it's either going to, there either has to be these two or it has to be these two. Either the two red or the two blue. IJH, IJH, that's exterior. That's not even right. KJH, KJH, that's exterior. That can't be it. NMO, NMO, that's exterior. That can't be it. Has to be this one. NMJ, NMJ, that's this blue one. IJM, IJM, that's this blue one. So that's the correct one. Again, if you have questions, please come to class and I will help you then.